To humanity's rising tide, may it sweep the Council away. The human fleet had grown to over 60 vessels, each upgraded with architect-derived technology. In his command center on the asteroid base, June Park reviewed intelligence from their captured prisoners. The neural link systems had proven even more effective than they had hoped, allowing human pilots to outmaneuver and outfight Council ships with ease. They still don't understand what they're facing, June observed as he studied tactical displays showing Council fleet movements. They think we got lucky. Beside him, Sun Yu nodded. As the fleet's tactical commander, she had become Park's second-in-command, her brilliant combat strategies complementing his leadership. Their confusion is our advantage, she replied. Their entire military doctrine assumes technological superiority. They have no counter for what we can do. Hana entered the command center with data tablets and a troubled expression. For weeks, she had led the interrogation of Council prisoners, piecing together the full scope of their operations across the solar system. I've completed the prisoner interviews, she announced. It's worse than we thought. They've established harvesting colonies throughout our system. Millions of humans are being processed for their war with the Void Dwellers. The room fell silent. Even after 3 years of fighting, the scale of the Council's crimes could still shock them. And what exactly are these Void Dwellers? Asked Sun, voicing the question they had all wondered about. Something ancient that terrifies them, Hana replied. Something they've been fighting for millennia. The prisoners know very little. Only high-ranking Council members are given complete information, but they spoke of the Void Dwellers with genuine fear. Tay joined them, carrying the latest neural link system upgrades. Does it matter who they're fighting? Our priority is freeing our people. It matters if we're being caught in someone else's war, June said. But you're right. First, we free Earth and our colonies. The planning phase lasted 2 weeks. Using information from the prisoners, they identified all major Council operations in the solar system. The largest facilities were on Earth, but processing centers had been established on the Moon, Mars, and several moons of Jupiter and Saturn. Simultaneous strikes, Sun proposed. Hit everything at once. They won't be able to coordinate a response. June agreed. We'll need to commit every ship and pilot we have. The day before the operation, June addressed the assembled fleet crews. Over 5,000 humans had joined their cause, many rescued from Council facilities, others from hidden survivor colonies. Tomorrow we take back our solar system, he told them. For 3 years they've taken our people, our resources, our future. Tomorrow, we show them the cost of their treachery. The attack began at 0400 Earth Standard Time. The Vengeance Fleet, as the survivors now called it, emerged from hyperspace jumps near each target simultaneously. The neural-linked pilots danced through Council defenses with impossible precision and coordination. On Earth, the largest Council harvesting facility, built on the ruins of New York, fell within hours. Similar victories came from the Moon and Mars. By midday, reports of success flowed in from all fronts. June and Sun monitored from their command ship in Earth orbit. For the first time in 3 years, June allowed himself to feel hope. All primary targets secured, Sun reported, unable to keep pride from her voice. Casualty reports minimal. Prisoner liberation underway. On a captured Council communication channel, they intercepted transmissions from the Council homeworld. Emergency sessions debated the stunning defeat. How is this possible? Demanded one Council leader. These were primitive creatures barely past their first space flights. Their neural connection to architect technology was underestimated, replied another voice. The harvesting must be accelerated before they develop further. I am authorizing use of the biogenic purge, declared a third voice identified as War. Minister Drav. They cannot be allowed to continue. Despite objections from moderate Council members, the decision was made. As the human fleet celebrated their victory, automated Council platforms released a devastating bioweapon into Earth's atmosphere, designed to target human genetic markers. The message reached the Vengeance Fleet during their victory celebration. Reports from ground teams described horrific scenes, millions of remaining humans on Earth dying in agony as the weapon spread through air currents. We can't neutralize it, Tay reported after analyzing the weapon. It's self-replicating and specifically tailored to human DNA. The celebration transformed into stunned silence, then rage. In the command center, June stood before the tactical display. His voice was ice cold as he addressed the fleet. The Council has shown us their true nature today. They could not defeat us in battle, so they murdered millions of innocents. There will be no mercy now. He looked at his officers, Sun, Hana, Tai, Min, each waiting for his command. Prepare all ships for deep space operations. It's time we took this war to them. The discovery of the Architect Transportation Network changed everything. Hidden beneath the lunar surface, the ancient technology allowed instantaneous travel across vast distances. Tay's team had decoded its operation using the neural interfaces that only humans could fully utilize. Humanity's fleet, now hundreds of vessels strong, could strike any Council world without warning. For the first time, the war would reach beyond Earth's solar system. In his flagship Retribution, Captain June Park watched the stars blur as they made their first jump to the Council's primary shipyard world. The cold rage that had driven him, since the bioweapon attack, had hardened into resolute purpose. Transit complete, announced the navigation officer. All ships present and accounted for. Before them hung a massive artificial structure, the Council's largest shipyard, orbiting a rust-colored gas giant. Dozens of warships under construction gleamed in the light of the distant sun. Defensive platforms and patrol vessels formed a protective net around the facility. They've detected us, Sun reported from the tactical station. They're scrambling to battle positions. June nodded. All ships, engage as planned. The human fleet exploded into action. Despite being outnumbered, 10-1, the neural-linked pilots moved with such speed and coordination that Council gunners couldn't lock onto them. The neural interfaces allowed humans to think commands faster than any manual control could execute them. June watched as human fighters danced between much larger Council vessels, delivering precise strikes against engines and weapons systems. The Council ships moved like lumbering beasts in comparison, their movements predictable and slow. First wave of Council ships disabled, Sun reported. No casualties on our side. The battle lasted 3 hours. When it ended, the shipyard and its defenders had been completely neutralized, with minimal loss of life on either side. June had insisted they take prisoners rather than kill when possible. They would need information for what came next. We've liberated the processing facility on the moon, reported Min Lee over the comms. She had led the ground assault team. 30,000 human captives recovered, many still viable for evacuation. The fleet regrouped at a predetermined rendezvous point. The liberated humans, many suffering from Council experimentation, were transferred to medical ships. Despite their condition, many volunteered to join the fight once recovered. Meanwhile, Tay and Hana made their most disturbing discovery yet, hidden in Council archives they'd captured during the assault. The Council has been manipulated, Hana explained during the War Council held on the Retribution. The Void Dwellers aren't external enemies, they're infiltrators. She displayed images showing Council members with subtle physical anomalies, extra joints, unusual eye patterns, skin with strange textures. They've been guiding Council policy for centuries, Tay continued, ensuring potential rivals like us are eliminated before we can reach our potential. The Architect connection makes us especially dangerous to them. The revelation changed their understanding of the war. The Council itself was as much victim as perpetrator, though this didn't excuse their actions against Earth. For the next 6 months, the Vengeance Fleet liberated enslaved human colonies while systematically destroying Council military capabilities. Other subjugated species, seeing humanity's success, joined the rebellion. The neural link technology proved to be the decisive advantage, allowing smaller human forces to defeat numerically superior enemies. The final push came when intelligence pinpointed the location of the Council capital world. The planet, called Nexus in their language, housed the Grand Council chamber where the decision to attack Earth had been made. June's fleet arrived in overwhelming force, over 700 vessels, many crewed by recently liberated humans and allied species. The orbital defenses fell quickly, but June held back the final assault. Instead, he transmitted directly to the remaining uncorrupted council members. "This is Captain June Park of Earth. You have a choice. Face extinction for your crimes against humanity and countless other species, or help us defeat the true enemy hiding among you." The surviving council leadership, faced with evidence of the Void Dweller manipulation and the unstoppable human fleet, surrendered. Those identified as Void Dweller infiltrators fought to the last but were overcome. 3 days later, June stood in the Grand Council chamber where the deception had begun years earlier. The vast hall, designed to impress with its scale and grandeur, now felt hollow. Beside him stood Hana, Tae, Min, and Sun, his closest friends and advisors, survivors who had become legends. Representatives from dozens of liberated species filled the chamber, many seeing their former oppressors brought low. "This isn't just vengeance anymore," June said quietly to his companions as they prepared to address the gathering. "It's justice for all species they've destroyed." He looked out at the assembled representatives, then toward the stars visible through the chamber's crystal dome. "And a warning to the Void Dwellers, wherever they're hiding now. Humanity is coming for them. Next." "These designs," June whispered, examining the projections Hana displayed. "They could change everything." "If we had ships to implement them," Min pointed out. Their conversation was interrupted by an alarm. Everyone tensed, but the signal indicated a returning scout team rather than a council attack. The scouts brought surprising news. A council harvesting ship had crashed near the ruins of Incheon. The site remained unguarded while salvage teams were en route. "How long until they arrive?" June asked. 12 hours, maybe less," replied the scout leader. June looked at his team. A plan was already forming in his mind. 6 hours later, 3 transport vehicles approached the crash site under cover of darkness. The council ship had gouged a deep furrow in the earth before coming to rest near the former port. Its hull remained largely intact. "Security systems are offline," whispered Hana through their communication channel. She had hacked into the ship's remaining power grid using knowledge gleaned from council databases. Min led the first team inside, securing the entry point. June followed with Tae and the technical crew. "We have 30 minutes before the council patrol crosses this sector," Min reminded them. They worked quickly, downloading navigation data and technical specifications. In the ship's memory core, they discovered something unexpected: coordinates for every council facility in the solar system, including a massive orbital shipyard hidden behind Mars. "We've been blind," June realized. "Their operations are far larger than we thought." As they prepared to leave, Tae made one final discovery. The ship's emergency beacon was intact and functional. With careful reprogramming, it could transmit on secure frequencies. "We could contact other resistance cells," Hana suggested, "if any still exist." Back at the bunker, they analyzed their findings. The council wasn't just harvesting humans for troops. They were extracting specific brain tissue compatible with their neural weapon systems. "We need ships," June stated, as they reviewed everything. "And we need more survivors." Min smiled for the first time in months. "I know where we can get both." The plan she outlined was dangerous but possible. The orbital shipyard behind Mars housed newly constructed council warships. With the access codes from the crashed vessel and cloaking technology adapted from the architect's schematics, they could infiltrate the facility. 5 ships, June decided. That's our target. Enough to make a difference, few enough to escape notice immediately. Hana looked worried. "Even if we get the ships, we'll need crews, trained pilots." "Then we'll find them," June replied, determination hardening his voice. "Or we'll train them ourselves. The council thinks they've broken us, that we're just scattered, survivors hiding in the dark." He looked at each of his team members. "It's time we showed them how wrong they are." The assault on the council orbital shipyard was swift and decisive. Using stolen council access codes and cloaking technology adapted from the architect's schematics, June's team infiltrated the massive facility hidden behind Mars. The vast structure housed dozens of newly constructed warships, guarded by automated systems and a skeleton crew of council engineers. "Remember non-lethal measures when possible," June reminded his strike team over their secure channel. These technicians aren't soldiers. Min led the first squad through the exterior maintenance hatch. Years of guerrilla fighting had honed her already impressive combat skills. She moved like a shadow, disabling security nodes as she progressed. Main control room secured, she reported 15 minutes later. Hana, you're clear to begin. Hana and Tay worked quickly at the shipyard's central terminal, using the stolen codes to disable alarms and reprogram 5 mid-sized warships for human operation. The Council systems put up little resistance. They had never expected humans to reach this facility. Engines primed on all targets, Tay confirmed. We have control. 3 hours after they began, June's team departed the shipyard with 5 Council warships, each capable of housing 50 crew members and armed with devastating weapons. They slipped into Mars' shadow, using the planet to block Council scanners as they assessed their prizes. No pursuit detected, Min reported from her position at the sensor station. They don't know what happened yet. As they began basic systems checks, an unexpected communication came through their secured channel, a channel known only to their resistance cell. This is Commander Sun Yu of Resistance Cell Typhoon. We've been tracking your operation. Impressive work, Captain Park. Shock rippled through the bridge. June exchanged looks with Hana before responding cautiously. This is Park. Identify your position and how you accessed this channel. We're currently in the asteroid belt, coordinates following separately. As for the channel, we salvaged the same communication protocols from a downed Council ship near Jupiter. Been monitoring Council traffic for months. They weren't alone. After verification procedures that satisfied even Min's paranoia, June's team learned the truth. Across the solar system, other human resistance groups had been fighting, adapting, surviving. Some had gone to space before the invasion. Others had escaped on stolen Council vessels. All had been operating independently, believing themselves to be among the last free humans. Within 2 weeks, representatives from 12 major resistance cells gathered at an asteroid base Sun's group had established. The base, hollowed from a medium-sized asteroid, contained a surprisingly advanced facility with hydroponics gardens and recycled atmosphere. Sun Yu was younger than June had expected, barely 30, but her eyes held the same hardened look all survivors shared. Once a commercial pilot, she had led a desperate evacuation during the initial attacks, saving 300 civilians by flying a transport to an abandoned mining outpost on Ceres. We've tried hit-and-run tactics against their smaller facilities, Sun explained during the Leadership Council. But without proper warships, we couldn't strike anything significant. That changes now, June replied. But we need trained crews. Tay cleared his throat. I think I have something that will help with that. In a makeshift laboratory, Tay presented his most revolutionary creation, a neural link system combining salvaged Council technology with architect interfaces. The system allowed humans to control ships with their minds, leveraging the unique connection to architect technology that humans possessed. The first test pilots reported reaction times 300% faster than Council species, Hana explained as volunteers were fitted with the devices. A single human pilot can outmaneuver their best squadrons. The demonstration that followed left the gathered resistance leaders speechless. A pilot named Jin took one of the stolen ships through maneuvers that should have been impossible, the vessel responding as if it were an extension of his body. How soon can we implement this across all our ships? Sun asked, eyes wide with possibilities. We've already started production, Tay replied. Within a month we can outfit 20 vessels. The Council, believing they faced only scattered resistance, remained unaware of the gathering fleet. When reports reached them of stolen ships, they dispatched a small task force to investigate. 3 cruisers and their escort vessels, a force that would have overwhelmed any previous resistance effort. They didn't expect to encounter 27 vessels crewed by neural-linked humans. The battle lasted less than 20 minutes. The human ships moved with impossible precision, evading Council weapons fire while delivering devastating counterattacks. Not a single Council ship managed to send a distress signal before being disabled or destroyed. Take prisoners when possible, June had ordered. We need intelligence more than revenge. After the battle, as they gathered on Sun's asteroid base to celebrate their first major victory, June addressed the assembled crews. Today we showed them something they never expected: unity and strength. But this is just the beginning. Now, we build our forces, gather our scattered people, and prepare for the real fight. He raised his cup in a toast. The sleek alien vessel descended through Earth's atmosphere, landing on the specially constructed platform outside Seoul. Captain June Park watched with a mix of excitement and caution as the ship's entry ramp extended to the ground. As commander of Earth's first interstellar vessel, Horizon, he had been chosen to represent humanity in this historic moment. "Remember the protocols," June whispered to his team. "No sudden movements, maintain eye contact if their species has eyes, and follow my lead." Beside him, Science Director Hana Kim nodded nervously. Her hands clutched a tablet containing Earth's greeting messages translated into mathematical sequences. Beyond the landing platform, millions watched the live stream, their collective breath held in anticipation. The alien that emerged stood nearly 7 feet tall with blue-tinted skin that seemed to shimmer under Earth's sunlight. It had 4 arms and a face that reminded June of Earth's octopuses, intelligent eyes and features that could convey complex emotions. "I am High Counselor Trev of the Galactic Council," the alien announced in perfect English. "We welcome humanity to the greater community of spacefaring civilizations." Over the next weeks, Earth's governments worked with the Council representatives to establish formal relations. The aliens shared medical technologies that cured several deadly diseases and provided clean energy systems that could power entire cities without pollution. "This is everything we hoped for," Hana told June as they reviewed the latest technological exchange. "Their medical advances alone have saved thousands of lives already." June nodded but couldn't shake a feeling of unease. "Why us? Why now? We've barely reached our own moon with crewed missions." 3 months after first contact, the Council invited a human delegation to their massive orbital station to formalize Earth's membership. Captain Park led the team, which included Hana and 5 other specialists. The station was a marvel of engineering, a spinning ring 20 kilometers in diameter housing representatives from 27 spacefaring species. Their hosts showed them to luxurious quarters with gravity adjusted to Earth normal. "The integration ceremony will begin tomorrow," their guide explained. "Until then, you may explore the public areas of the station." That night, unable to sleep, Hana decided to examine the station's information systems. Using the access terminal in her quarters, she began browsing the public database about Council member species. A notification flashed across her screen, a security update being applied. When the system rebooted, Hana found herself with access to files clearly not intended for visitors. Her curiosity overcoming her caution, she began to search. What she found turned her blood to ice. "June," she whispered urgently into her communicator, an hour later. "Meet me in the observation deck now." When Captain Park arrived, he found Hana pale and shaking. "It's a trap," she said, showing him her tablet. "I found their real plans. The Council has done this before to dozens of species. They find developing civilizations with certain genetic qualities, pretend to welcome them, then harvest their populations." "Harvest? For what?" "Soldiers. The Council is at war with something they call the Void Dwellers. They need cannon fodder. And we're next on their list. The integration ceremony tomorrow. It's when they plan to launch their attack on Earth." June's military training took over. "We need to warn home. Now." But as they turned to leave, the observation deck doors slid open. High Counselor Trev stood there flanked by 4 security drones. "Captain Park, Director Kim, you've been quite busy." The alien's voice remained pleasant, but its eyes had hardened. "Those files weren't meant for you." "Is it true?" June demanded. "You plan to attack our world?" A soft chime sounded, and Trev checked a device on one of his 4 wrists. His mouth parts formed what might have been a smile. "Actually, Captain, the attack has already begun." The observation deck's massive windows suddenly displayed tactical feeds from Earth. Council warships had appeared in skies worldwide, their weapons firing on major cities. Seoul, New York, London, Beijing, all under simultaneous assault. "No!" Hana gasped, watching as explosions bloomed across her home city. Your species has unique neurological patterns, Trev explained calmly. Once properly processed, human soldiers are particularly effective against the Void Dwellers. You should be honored. Your sacrifice will help preserve civilization throughout the galaxy. June lunged at the alien but was immediately immobilized by one of the security drones. This reaction is expected, Trev continued. The harvesting ships are already landing. Within days, the first processing facilities will be operational. Resistance typically ends within a month. You've made a mistake, June growled through clenched teeth. Humanity won't go quietly. They never do, Trev replied with something like pity. But they always fall. In time, the survivors will even thank us for their purpose. As the security drones moved to take them away, June caught Hana's eye. A silent message passed between them. This wasn't over. Somehow, they would escape. Somehow they would fight back. And someday the Galactic Council would learn exactly what they had unleashed by betraying humanity. 3 years after the attack, humanity had retreated to underground shelters while Council harvesting operations claimed the surface. The ruins of Sol stretched above the hidden bunker where Captain June Park studied tactical displays, his face illuminated by the blue glow of salvaged alien technology. The scar running from his left eye to his jaw tightened as he frowned at the latest reports. He had escaped the Council station during the chaos of the first attack, stealing a small transport and crashing back to Earth with vital information. Many believed he had died during the initial assault. This misconception had become their greatest advantage. A soft knock interrupted his thoughts. Min Lee, once a Special Forces soldier and now Park Security Chief, entered the cramped command center. Director Kim's team has made another breakthrough, Min reported, her voice steady despite the excitement in her eyes. You should see this. June followed her through narrow concrete corridors. The bunker had once been a military contingency facility, designed to survive nuclear war. Now it housed 200 survivors and served as the main base for their resistance cell. The laboratory section buzzed with activity. Hana Kim looked up from her workstation as June entered. Dark circles underlined her eyes, but her expression brightened at his arrival. We've confirmed it, she said, gesturing to the data scrolling across her screen. Remember those strange brain scans the Council performed on us during first contact? They weren't just collecting biological data. Physicist Tae Shin joined them, carrying a small device that pulsed with soft light. Once a university professor, he now led their research into alien technology. Humans possess unique neurological patterns, Tae explained, placing the device on the table. This technology responds only to human touch. Watch. When Tae placed his hand on the device, it glowed brighter and projected a three-dimensional star map above the table. When Min tried, nothing happened. The Council records call these artifacts architect technology, Hana continued. They belong to a civilization that existed long before the Council. The aliens fear this connection we have. That's why they attacked without warning, Tae added. Their records indicate they've done this before to other species with similar potential. June stared at the star map. How did you discover this? Remember the underwater expedition last month? Hana smiled. We found more than just Council wreckage. The expedition team had discovered an intact facility beneath the Pacific Ocean floor, hidden from Council sensors by some unknown technology. Inside lay the means of humanity's salvation, schematics for advanced weapons and starships far beyond Council technology.